Then, my name is Flynn and I'm here with Ramesh Harikrishnasamy and we are going to be talking about Firefly. So Ramesh, you're doing well. You having a good day?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
So we're going to be jumping in a little bit into Adobe's new generative AI tool, Adobe Firefly. We're going to have a little bit of a poke around, a little bit of a play. It's still nice and new for us and everybody else. But we've got Ramesh here to help us out. We're going to be kind of looking at how do these sorts of tools help in the creative process. Ramesh, if you haven't seen his work before, has done lots of streams with us in creative compositing, so creating amazing surreal landscapes, and is an expert in Photoshop. So it's going to be very interesting to see kind of where we go. We don't have a ton of time. We've got an hour today, so that's probably enough from me. Ramesh, did you want to kind of take it away? I can share your screen whenever you are ready.
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do this. Super excited. Again, everybody is talking about AI. Can't believe we actually gonna talk about it too. We had this point of time where we just wanna get things done fast. I mean, by saying that, that's the introduction that I want to say, that it kind of fastened the process to get things done for myself. Again, if you guys not sure, again, we're talking about firefly.adobe.com, so it's still better. If you are wondering if you can get access, well, you can sign up to the waiting list. Let's see how long does it take for you to go in and create awesome stuff with it. There are a few things to focus on in Firefly. This is the interface of it. So there's text to image. So what do you mean by text to image? You literally need to just type up a few keywords that you have in mind. Again, don't have to be so accurate. Roughly, like for example, a castle over the clouds. So
Right.
there are things that people like to imagine, right? Fantasy, things that does not exist in this real world. So you can try out that one. So there's also text effects. So meaning you just type up the words that you want. For example, fantasy. Let's say that's the word. And how do you want this fantasy word to look like? For example, you want it to be formed using flowers or butterfly or water, so that all this magical stuff can be done under text effects. So first thing first, we're going to try out the text to image. Again, these are a glance through of the current artworks that's being created using this tool. Amazing. These are literally keywords generated.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, right?
It's super crazy. For example, if you're wondering, oh my God, like if I zoom in here, like how did I create this? Like for example, all you have to do is, if you notice, there's overlay image where it already kind of let you decide how to create this kind of image. Basically, an ancient tree, glittering water with dim. But again, you can describe as detailed as possible, or just play with the word. Add in more. I call it like a tag. When you put a comma and then white shot, these are like description of the image. You want to just chop it into more detailed words. This is how you do it, and the AI engine will go in and try to see what can I create out of this word. So yeah, it's crazy what I'm seeing right here. Like for example, this looks like surreal, but it's AI, meaning the engine go into Adobe Stock, try to get those approved image that was used for this AI, and then create this. So I will be using some sakura flowers and whatever not for my upcoming demo that I'm going to use for today. So watch out for it. So yeah, it's crazy how this artwork is being created using this tool. It lessened the time for us to create. For example, if you notice my artwork, those who have seen it, I spend so much of time creating the background based on my idea and imagination.
Right.
Imagine having the background already it's been done, like just a rough one for me to just quickly import it into Photoshop and start to add on whatever subject that I want. So yeah, basically it saves so much of my time.
Yeah, that's it. And for those wondering, I think there's been some questions about it as well. Yeah, so sign up to the beta. So we're seeing a logged in version. So you know that you have access. If right up the top, there's a little beaker up there. It's a little beta icon to know that you are in. I know there's a lot of people trying to get in at the moment. But there's a bit of a waiting list, of course. Some of you watching it might be like, hey, I really want to get in and play with this. It will come. It's coming. Just got to be a little bit patient. But once you get in, we can't wait to see what you create.
Yep. So today we're going to focus on a few things. So I want to create an image based on my imagination. To do that, I'm going to quickly switch back to Photoshop to just run through a very quick story, a very glance through. Like for example, if you guys remember, if you look at my Instagram, there will be goddesses on a pile of mangoes that form a mountain. So these are the story that was again back on those days. How it happened is that so if I zoom in here, there's actually so this is basically a father, mother, and two kids, and this guy called Narada. He has this mango, and he want the father, which is Lord Shiva, to eat it, and then the father go like, no, because we have eaten so many delicious mango. Why don't we give it to our son? So again, the parents was like, okay, we have only one. We shouldn't split it. Let's do a competition. So the competition is whoever go around the world the first will get the mango. And super smart, one of the son actually has a peacock as a vehicle. So he go around the world to grab the mango. But this son over here, which is Lord Ganesha over here, he's super smart as well. He's like, my parents is my world. So I'm going to go around them and get the mango. By the time the brother came back with the peacock, he already got the mango. So, right. And then there's also a huge problem was like, no way, when he came back, he was like, I didn't see you just now while going around the world. It's not fair. And then he explained the reason why he got it. And he was like, no, so I'm not going to get the mango from you, even though you asked me to. So I'm going to just go somewhere else. So that was a huge story. If you guys Google mango story, Lord Ganesha, Lord Murugan, you get to see. There's a lot of meaning behind it, a very beautiful meaning. So based on this, and I was like, it shouldn't end so sad like this. So what I thought was like, what happens if the brother himself give like lots more mango to you so that you can eat happily,
right? And that is changing the story at the end to have a happy ending.
So a lot of them commented on the artwork saying that thank you for creating this story. This happy ending looks better than that one. So we're gonna jump into that. So imagine, right, like I said, thousands of mangoes. It's even if you look up for a stock image, it's very, very hard to get. Like I tried it. Like I need to do a lot of like photo manipulation. I need to take a stack of mangoes, put it together. But today I'm going to use Firefly to create the mangoes. So again, look at my keywords, right? It's hopefully I can zoom in. Oh, I can. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Oh, it doesn't stick. Okay, there you go. Hope you guys can see it. I'm gonna just literally put in the keywords like thousands of mangoes formed a mountain. Okay, let's see what we get. Again, this is real time, right? So we're gonna see what we get.
Yeah, because it's crazy because a photographer uploading artwork to, a stock website or something. Oh, wow, there you go. You've got mountains of mangoes. You would never really, why would you ever shoot a pile of mangoes, right? Like it's not
exactly.
Something, but it's very interesting.
That people download. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And here's another best part. Like for example, if, sometimes as an artist or designer, you already have something in mind. It's like, yeah, it's there, but it's not there. Can I get another full result? You can. All you have to do is just refresh. Again, I want to look for that one image that I have in mind. Let's see if I get that one. And then if I have it, I'm going to download it. And also oh yes, I got what I want. So I'm going to go for the second image over here. This is something I really like. But before I jump into Photoshop, I just want to glance through things that's available for us to customize our results, right? Like for example, if you notice, there's Excel available for you to just look for aspect ratio, meaning in what form do you want it to be? Like for example, most of the time on Instagram is square. So maybe, again, this artwork is for my Instagram. So maybe I want to use square format. What if it's for video? Like for example, I'm using a music video and I want to create a background for it. Again, the square can be changed into landscapes. And now what it does is that it regenerates the image based on what you have just said. Not only that, there's a lot more. Like for example, you can sort out by popular. There you go. Amazing. Like movements, you can also pick digital art. If this looks like an art, you want a like photorealistic feel to it, change the art to photo and watch what happens at the bottom of your search. The tag will be switched to art to photo. So these are the tags that's being added to your imagery so that it looks more like realistic and whatever not based on your result. This looks more realistic than the previous result because I didn't switch from art to photo. right? So again, these are things that's available for you to use. And also there's also a bunch of color tones. If you want to have a black and white, you want to have warm tone, you can do that. And also lighting. I think this is something is also a very challenging thing to do. Like for example, you might already have a background image in mind, but most of the time, a lot of photographers will shoot opposite backlighting. They don't want to shoot a backlighting image.
Yeah.
With AI, you can invert that. So that's the beauty of this one. And last but not least, composition. Which angle do you want? You want wide angle, you want close up, you want to create bokeh and whatever not can be done here. Narrow depth of field. So yeah, that's an amazing thing to talk about AI when it comes to Firefly. And in this image, I really like the top one here. There you go. So again, now we're gonna quickly jump into Photoshop and see how we do the magic. I am going to download. So also notice that when you download, there's also applying a content credential, meaning it's not available for commercial use yet. Just want to let you guys know that. Again, I'm using this again for a demo. I think it would be nice to just get an idea how it fasten the process. So that's my goal for today. Okay, time to switch to Photoshop. I am going to go for a square, and I am going to now drag in the image that I want. It's over here. Again, I'm using dual monitor in case you guys can see it. And I'm going to put it here. That's the image. I'm going to just enlarge it. And if you notice, there'll be watermark at the bottom. Again, just reminding you, it's not for commercial use. There you go. And I am going to bring in the goddess. Like I said earlier, there you go. I already have it ready. So imagine I created this with a transparent image, knowing that I know at the back of my head, I'm going to put him right on top of thousands of mangoes. And all I'm going to do is now just copy this, merge it very quickly and paste it here and convert that to a smart object. Let's zoom in a little. And let's just resize him very quickly, just like this. And also bear in mind, ratios are very important. Like for example, something that I always say in my stream, how do you know what's the resizing work? Like for example, how big is this goddess? Is it a baby, right? So, and you have to see the size of mango compared to your arm.
Yeah.
And these are things that we have to also, again, we're going to do a realistic artwork. These are things that you have to bear in mind. Then you go ahead and put it here. Or you can change the story a little. Like, for example, it can be a gigantic mangoes or giant looking mangoes.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I'm pretty impressed with how well Firefly has done mangoes. I'm kind of trying to look at it.
Let's zoom in.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. It's just little touch up that you need to do. For example, at the side here, like for example, there's some green areas, but look at the colors, right? It does look like a realistic pile of mangoes, so it's crazy. So I'm gonna put it in here. Again, we're gonna do a quick touch up. Again, shadows, lightings, things that I've already said way before. Super important. So right underneath him, I am going to just create a shadow. Brush, make it soft. Let's reduce the flow. And lighting, very important. We know the source of light. The light is coming from top right. So we're gonna just add in here, just like this. Again, if I were to create the background myself, trust me, it's gonna take hours.
Yeah, like that would be a lot of work to kind of get all those mangoes. Because how would you do it normally? Would you like get multiple images of mangoes and then composite them together into a pile and try to create it that way? How would you approach it?
So few things. I need to first think of where can I get a view or a mango that's arranged this way. For example, two things. Maybe I will look for a truck full of mangoes,
right?
Because that's where they pile it, right? Or I will probably look for mangoes in the market. Right. But that's also a problem. Nobody arrange it this way. There's always like maybe 2 or 3 arranged this way, and then they put it side by side. And guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to copy everything, pile it together. And another thing, I need to change the colors of each of these mango to match each other. That's another big headache. So imagine that being fixed here.
Yeah.
Literally, it saved tons of my time. So yeah.
So it's just a question in chat, just in case other people have the same sort of question. Was very interested to see what you're up to here. Has Ramesh trained Firefly on his imagery, or is this all based on Adobe stock? So it's all based on Adobe stock at the moment through this beta phase. There is something in there for uploading your own artwork and being able to find variations of it. It doesn't exist yet, but it's definitely coming. So that'll be coming soon.
Yep. There you go. I added shadow. I did some masking. Like for example, so these goddesses have spear. It's something that he always carry with him. So I did some masking so that it's like at the back of that mango. Again, must be realistic, right? So I just want to make sure that I achieve that. And now we're gonna go to just add a bit of shadow and adjust lighting, and we'll be done. It's crazy how fast it takes. There you go. I'm going to just make my brush looking a bit smoother. There you go, like that. Getting there, and now I am going to just crop this very quickly to match the canvas, like this. So done, and I'm going to apply my favorite color lookup. All colors, there you go. The color is so rich. Like for example, if there's more things that I want to do, probably I'll just brighten up the main subject a bit more. Just like that. And we are done.
It's amazing, right? Yeah.
That is super fast. Like for example, like I said, if I were to do this a traditional way, again, time is super important. By doing this, there are more things that I have in mind that I want to execute. I can do that right after this, right? I don't have to wait. Oh, okay, great. I need another hour to just pile up the mango, chop here and there to do photo manipulation. But then now it's done. And also the beauty of this is that you still maintain sort of like quality. It doesn't look like a bad photo. Like for example, you can still enhance out of this. Of course, it's AI, but it doesn't stop you from adding more elements. Like for example, back there, I can even add more landscape mountains. I can merge other mountains from the Firefly results that I want based on my keywords and apply it here. So yeah, there's no limitation. It's just a lot of possibilities, of course. So yeah, we're done. This is, look at that.
It's so fast. So there was just, I guess I'm just trying to think about like when people get into the beta and they're grabbing images and they're trying to create compositions like this, maybe you could break down, like how you match the color. So you use something called color lookup, which I'm very aware of because it's a favorite tool of yours. It seems like that. It seems like color matching and compositions, I think, is going to become a very useful skill, particularly at the moment, because if you have something in your head and you try to get AI to do absolutely everything, it might take a lot of tries, or it might not get everything perfect, and you've got everything in this flat image. Whereas I feel like I actually saw Paul Tranny doing a stream, and I was like, he's already onto it, which is great, where he kind of used Firefly to generate just different assets. So I think he did a skull, he did like a steampunk skull, he did some type, and then he did some sort of background, and he just brought them all in and then used that as to create a composition. So I feel like these skills of, like the color might be off though, right? Because they're created separately. So so if you could explain color matching maybe a little bit to us, how you might do that, I think that would be something like super useful. Even just breaking down what you did with color lookup just then.
Yeah. So what happened is that, again, most of the time, like I said, even before this traditional way, for me to get a pile of mango to match, color balance it, it will be a hassle. But now that we already have a stock image and the main subject in here, of course, the main subject wasn't there when it was created, right? How I do most of the time is that I look at the hue. So I get the base right first. Like for example, the color tone of his body is not really matching the warmness of the mango. So again, usually what I do is I use a base, which is color balance, to just fix, like for example here, I just created masking, right? Right on top of the image, and I will try most of the time just bring in some yellow. Let me just zoom in to get that right. There you go. So from this to this, and then maybe a bit of red, because there's a lot of red as well, right? Beside the green. So I'll do that. And after that, I'll zoom out and see if everything matches. Sometimes contrast also can be an issue. So again, here, if you zoom in, it's slightly more contrasty compared to the goddesses. So I am going to just increase the contrast a bit and then brighten up, just reduce slightly. Here, I already fixed the base. And how do I create more of the color on overall of the image? That's when color lookups comes in. In here, if I just go through from the bottom up, you can see, again, it's not even changing one, it's changing the overall image. By doing so, I already fixed the base. Say, actually, imagine this, right? What if there's a moon at the back?
Right. So you've suddenly turned it to nighttime. It's like dusk or something.
Yeah. And then you start playing with the masking of the color lookup. If you notice, why is there 4 square up there? Is that for you to just play with color masking. So I am going to just press on the color lookup. If you notice, I increase my brush. I can even, let's say the moon is over there, right? So imagine I brighten up that area. So that's how it works. Like for example, all this area, I want to brighten it up. That's how you play with color lookup, because again, it's basically like an Instagram filter where you can apply it. But of course, there's no masking in Instagram. All you can do in Photoshop is that you can create more magic. So yeah, that's one. I can disable that and I can show you more of the color lookup. Like for example, we use correct. It's like a brighten day, and then futuristic blink is like color faded a bit. Again, depending on what do you want to achieve at the end of the day. There's also I think one of my favorite is edgy amber. So it's like, it's very hot sun. And again, if it's too much, always use opacity to reduce it. So there you go. So there's a lot of things can be done, but then with the current technology that we have, like I said, saving time is another level. We always wanted to save time so that we create more. So I think we're already there now. Let me change this to fall colors and we are good. And I think earlier today also, let me show you another example that we talked about was color palette, like things that designers need. Again, we use Photoshop to create a lot of things, right? Like for example, what if we use color palette? Again, I never done this.
Yeah, it's still live.
Less color of warm tones. I don't know what I'm gonna get, so bear with me. This is live. Let's see. There you go.
Oh, interesting.
Right? So yeah. So again, even though it doesn't show you like in a proper way, I do get the warm tone. All I have to do is download this, color pick to whichever color tone that I want, and apply it to my artwork. So that's the beauty of this. And if you do want this, always refresh and see what are other results that's available for us to use.
Yeah. And I think it's really cool as well, like people that like struggle with color, like especially if you're colorblind or something like that, which I actually am. Like it's very useful. It could sort of say, I know that I'm doing a neon, cyberpunk sort of type thing. And like, I know there's purples and stuff, but otherwise it gets a little bit hazy. I can search for that, find examples, and then color pick the similar things. Like, okay, this is what the background might look like. This is what the glows might look like, and just kind of use it as a base to kind of start from.
Yeah. And also there's more things. Like for example, another hidden thing that not many people notice is that if you already managed to log in here, if you notice, there's also options up here at the dot. If I zoom in here, you get to see this. And if I click that, it's also saying that, can I use this image as a reference and try to generate more artwork based on this?
Right.
So that's another thing. Like for example, let's try out an actual photo. Let's say landscape image with Northern. Let's fix that, and Let's see what we get.
See what we get.
And again, whichever that I like, I'm trying to use that reference image to create more artwork. So that's another beauty of this. Oh, amazing.
Pretty cool.
Wow. Okay, again, it's all beautiful. I don't know which one to choose. Flynn, I'll let you choose, then we can refine from there.
That's hard. I think the top right. I think I like
Top
the
right.
colors.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. So using this, use as a reference image, see what happens underneath. It's asking you, oh, okay, so you're going to use this. So I'm going to base on this image and try to refine it even more. Similar landscape, but a bit of change. Do you notice that the Northern Lights has the similar composition? But what changes is the, if I zoom in here, you get to see the trees and the mountains look different than this. But everything else, composition-wise, is trying to maintain. So that's the beauty of this one. So refining that particular image. Because, of course, the four results usually, they are not so close to each other. It can be drastic. But probably there's one that you like, almost there, but not really. This is how to do it, right? Basically, you refine based on a reference image. This is the beauty in this. So next thing that I want to show in my demo today is that we're going to hide this. I am going to just key in a few things. I think it would be nice to just look at, for example, let me see. You're going to go underwater. Underwaters. I want an underwater background with vegetation. And then add a light source. What do I get? Again, what I'm doing right now is, again, I have something in mind. I want to see if we can achieve the background that I want to create, so that it saves my time.
Oh wow, it's like photorealistic kind of thing.
This is super cool. Again, let's zoom in and see, right? Literally, it has, like, you can never say that it's like, you know, whenever I think of AI, I think it's like copy and paste images come together and then you can see the outline. Not really. It all has the exact same depth. You know, a bit of blurriness. Because underwater, as you guys know, you will get to see the blurriness and all that. So yeah, everything looks so real, right? And I really like one over here, which is this one. Again, I want to see if I can refine it a bit more. Let's use this as a reference image. And let's see what we get. Again, before I download this into Photoshop and try to add in more subject. Oh, wow. Okay, it's getting there. Perfect. So what changes is that you can see like the composition, light source. Oh, this is nice. Like, for example, you can actually see the surface of the water.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah. And I think I'm going to go for this one over here. Okay, let's quickly download this. Zoom out. Okay, save. I'm gonna just open up Photoshop. Photo new. I think it's square. Just make it square, and I'm gonna bring in my image. This I can do. Or was it wider? So let's switch to wider mode. No worries. I have that ready, and I am going to just bring it in. There you go. Increase the canvas, and just put it out of this.
Keep that watermark in there.
Yes.
Good job.
So again, just want to make sure that also things that I want to highlight on and off is because it's not for commercial use. Something to bear in mind. Yeah. So what I'm going to do now is, like I said, right? If I were to create this or look for a photo that best matches this, I might not find it, or probably I will find it after a couple of hours. So I'm not gonna waste my time on that one. So what I'm going to do is now bring in the image of my artwork, my main subject. 1 second. There you go. It's here. You're probably wondering, so let's scuba dive, what's happening, right? Again, I'm trying to imagine that this is the water, the surface and everything, the depth is bigger than he is. We have 25 minutes left, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right, exactly right.
Yeah, so I am going to do this very quick, again, to show you how I work fast with Firefly. Let's increase the brightness. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to merge this to a smart object. I am going to do some cleanup.
While you're doing that, I'm just going to answer a question. I'm going to try and answer questions live just in case other people have the same sort of questions. Is there a way to multiple images at once, or will it be offered soon? So if you mean like generating multiple images at once, no, it's just a single image at the moment. A good method is to kind of think about the environment that you might want and assets that you might want, and then generate it with the prompt white background. And then it makes it really easy to bring it into Photoshop and crop it out to create your composition. Just keep in mind, you'll probably lose the watermark, which you do need to have on if you're going to post online outside. Download. Oh, the question was to download. Okay, yeah, I mean, you can just download as you're going along. So there's just a button on the right-hand side. Every image that you generate, you can right-click and download. And it'll download with the full credentials and who created it, and it was created, the date, and sorts of metadata like that. And you can just kind of keep going. Something that's really cool that I've found really useful is that when the image downloads, the file name is the prompts that you put in. And that's so good, because I just have a folder of stuff that I've put in there, and I've gone back and thought, what was I thinking? What did I prompt to make this crazy file? And I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, that's what I did. I just think that's a really nice, neat way to just keep that data in there.
Yeah, some people, what they do is that they probably will save them under a notepad. But again, how many you want to create notepad, and how do you make sure that this keyword is, the result is linked to this one? So when you have an image with the file naming with the prompt, I think that's like the best way. Again, if you notice, while Clint is doing the talking, what I did was, again, I did a bit of like masking around the scuba diver. If you notice, the blending isn't so good, because again, why? The original image, again, there are also questions probably you guys have in mind, like, okay, why don't you just create a scuba diver underwater so that you use, but then what if that main subject is something very personal to you that you want to feature in your artwork? So that's where composition and everything else comes in. Like for my work, I like to have main subject belonging to my own idea. Like even if I had to create it, I might not get the right one, because again, I am the creator of the main subject. I want to make sure that it's there and everything else works together with my main subject. So I'm more in control.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And when it comes down to, like, if you're working with a client and they say, well, we want this particular shoe or shirt or character or person or fictional character or whatever it is in this environment, that's where compositing will really come in handy, right? Because you can't AI generate that, because it has to be this specific fixed asset. So that's a very good point. I hadn't thought of that.
So, okay, now that we have the masking done, let's do blending. So that's when we want to make sure that the main subject blends with the image. There you go. That looks so good. So I'm going to maintain that. If you zoom out, you get to see like, it's like one. I'll probably, if you zoom in, just to match the blurriness of the surrounding. So probably I just go into filter and let's add in a bit of Gaussian blur like that. And so in here, what I'm trying to show is that you are still the master. I know a lot of like designers out there like thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna lose my job, But no, you are the creator. All you have to do is you use the current technology that you have, fasten the process and everything. So nobody gonna lose their job. You're getting better actually in terms of saving time. So
more tools.
Just wanna highlight. Just wanna highlight that. So again, I'm going back to the Firefly to just look up for 0 so that I can see this clear. Again, what I have in the back of my mind is that underwater, and you know, when it comes to underwater, there can be a lot of like things like you probably don't know exist. Like for example, in the back of my head, I want to look for a giant tentacles. Okay, another thing. If it's too short, it'll prompt you saying that, can you be more, like this is a super cute thing. That appears saying that you want to define it more so that I can give you a better results. Like for example, right, I am looking for giant tentacles, but then not this ones. I want it to be underwater still. Let's go for underwater. And then now so because I put the keyword as underwater, it will have hopefully similar hues as my main subject. There you go. It does have.
Right.
So all I have to do is take the composition, apply it into my artwork. Oh, I like this. I like this. There's so many to choose from. I'm gonna just refine this a bit more. Let's see what I get.
You might get more. I mean, do you want just the tentacles or do you want the octopus?
Yes, I don't the octopus.
You
I just
want the tentacles.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So getting there. I think I found it. So I kind of like the bottom one here. So I am going to again download this. Okay, let's go back to Photoshop. I am going to just drag that image that I just created, which is here. I know there's watermark over here. I'm gonna maintain the main watermark at the bottom. And to do a bit of masking here and there. Let's do that. I'm gonna scale this really big. Like this. Again, I'm going to do a bit of blending first. Again, ooh, this is amazing.
That's pretty cool.
So again, there you go. It's like the scuba diver doesn't know that there's something underneath the water, so it's like,
yeah, it reminds me of the Jaws, like,
yeah,
with the swimmer up the top and then Jaws coming up from the bottom. That sense of depth and dread and something evil lurking underneath.
So here's the beauty of it, right? Like, for example, these are separate images. Again, if I were to look for the exact same composition, I just want to highlight that once again, I might not get it. As in, like, might not get it, or it takes a longer time. So I am going to just reduce the color here very quickly. And I am going to do a bit of masking. Just remove the flag on top here. Again, what I'm doing right now is a bit of composition. Again, of course, it takes a longer time to do a very perfect work. What I'm saying is this is already getting there.
Yeah.
Within half an hour. Sorry, I started like maybe 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So imagine this, adding this, right? So I can even refine it a bit more, finding the right composition. There you go. I kind of like this one. Again, you can go way beyond this. Again, I also thought of something else. What if I make the brightness of it reduce slightly? Not so much. Okay, and then the hue, the lightness probably reduce. Oh, it doesn't work that way because the blending that I have made it such. So let's just increase that very quickly. I don't want the color to be too colorful. Just tone down a bit. This is where I do the color balancing. Again, I create color balance over here and then reduce the tint again to match with the overall scene, right? And then, you know, another beauty when it comes to different composition is that you don't have to worry like it doesn't match. With the help of brightness, hue and saturation, color balance, and color lookup, your art will look amazing. So let's just try out an edgy amber. Kind of like this one. There you go. It's kind of like that one. So the beauty, another thing is that when you change that particular logic, like for example, undersea, so under the water is always blue hue and everything. You change the whole concept of applying color lookup like this. It's like probably underwater in Mars. You know what I mean? So even desert, if you change the color tone, it doesn't look like it's somewhere from the Middle East. It probably from another planet. So always play with different color schemes and whatever not, so that you have a more surreal color lookup.
That's right? So good.
So here you go. This is one example. 110. Okay, time at Malaysia is 110. So I'm going to switch back to Firefly. Again, another example. So there's one here and one here.
Yeah, very quick.
So again, just to share that, you know, things can be done fast if you know exactly what you have, right? Your keywords is the power. So try to see, you know, there's also a lot of places where they, I think on YouTube, where they teach you how to get the exact keywords that you want. There's also a few sites, so always use the free tools that's available.
Wait, sorry, I was just going to say, I wanted to see, there's just a question in chat about like, if we're very source defined prompts, something like giant tentacles underwater originating from off screen, wanted to see if that would make it more like specific for what you're after and if that would work.
Oh yeah, so what was the keyword again?
Try giant tentacles.
Okay. Who's the person who
this was
came up with this?
Dimit.
Okay. Giant tentacles.
Underwater. We're just going to do it verbatim. Yeah. Underwater.
Okay, got it.
Originating from off screen.
Originating from off screen.
That's it.
Is this right? Okay, let's do this.
Let's try it out. Why not?
Yeah.
Because I don't know the answer, so I kind of want to find out too.
Okay, let's witness this together. Oh, probably I should say.
Didn't seem to have the effect.
Yeah, it's not the same effects, I think, because I think probably I need to, I think I can refine that even more in order to get what we want. Like for example, wheat. So these are the keywords that I have in mind, right? Patience and a light sauce. So we are combining keywords. So let's see this.
Here we go again.
Then probably it will refine more by adding the elements that I have in my previous result. Ta-da!
Oh, cool.
It's getting there. Oh, it does look like a weird tentacles. Like it doesn't look so real. So it's like perfect. So yeah, we can. You always I think that's the beauty of prompts is that you keep refining until you know what you really want. Yeah, even if you miss a little keywords, like for example, I didn't add vegetation and light source before this, right? So it was like, without any light source, there's no green plants underneath.
Right.
So yeah.
Very cool. All right, that's great. Thanks for the suggestion. Yeah, I mean, obviously, we're all going to get so much better at prompt writing, aren't we? Like, it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be like a generation of designers that are extremely good at describing a composition. We're going to have to get better at it.
Yeah, trust me, I'm very bad in writing. I think most designers are. So by practicing the right keywords, I kind of gain more knowledge. Like for example, probably this word has a different meaning, and how do I combine these two little prompts together? So yeah, you get better in typing. So extra knowledge there.
Exactly.
Again, we're gonna move into another hopefully the last one. Again, for those who like unicorns, let's try a unicorn in a magical forest. Extreme. See, these are the keywords that I found out, like extremely detailed. Let's see what we get. So we also gonna play around with some composition. I think it would be nice to talk about wide angle. Oh, beautiful.
Pretty cool.
Wide angle. And I'm gonna regenerate this. Again, there's tons of stuff. Pixel art is already there for you. Again, let me just zoom in there so you guys get to see this. There's concept art. Again, concept art is something that I really like. I like to use that tag in my artwork. So again, it's a concept. Again, there's vector look, stamp, digital art, gravity. You can sort out by popular, see what people like and stuff like that. Ooh, this is beautiful. I am going to download this one over here.
Yeah, I really like the visualization of the prompts on the side. I'm sure we're going to get more of them as well in the future. And even when you type it in, I really liked how when I was typing something in, if it matched a prompt over the side, it turned it into a tag down the bottom. And I was like, oh, cool. Okay, I'm on the right track. That's something useful. Yeah.
So now that I downloaded the unicorn, I'm just going to put it in here. I have something in mind. Again, like I said, it's fantasy, right? Who likes unicorn? My daughter likes unicorn.
My daughter likes unicorns.
Kids love unicorns. So I want to try to create the what do you call it? An image that kind of work this way. Like for example, how do you merge this with a real images composition wise? Like for example, I have little girl over here. What if she's like, watching it from her window? Maybe father just bought a house. uh, like new house, but then went to sleep. She couldn't sleep, but then when she looked out the window, she actually saw a unicorn. Stuff like that. So these are
Yeah.
like stories that I have in mind. So what I'm going to do now is look for some stock images to use. We still have time. Still have time.
A
So
little
I'm
bit
gonna
of
just
time.
wait.
Yeah, 10 minutes left.
Okay, I have this here. Just bear with me with the copyright at the bottom. We all know that it's not for commercial use, so I'm gonna remind you on that one. We're gonna just resize this very quick. Again, what I'm doing is this is something that I like to do in my artwork is that I'm trying to create this composition of she's actually sitting at the edge of the window of a house where there's a huge window. So I am going to just resize this like this, get the perspective, and I'm gonna just enlarge it like that. Okay, and let's just crop select subject again. Oh, another thing, cloud under select subject, super amazing, more detailed results. Please use that.
Yeah.
Select subject, and let's see, amazing. So just mask her, just put her in the center. Again, lighting, very important. Just make sure that because it's dark a bit outside, you're gonna just make the cement slightly. So it can also be a carpet because it's gray color, very fine. You can't even see the cement. What I'm doing right now is quick composition, create a masking here, try to create shadows, and another best way to do this using satin, very rare thing that I like to use, but I want to highlight that that's also available on top of that girl so that I show you what happens. Okay, I'm gonna just zoom this in so that you get the idea. This is to save up the time of you applying shadows. Can you see?
Ah, interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So invert and then lower down the opacity because the light is because she's facing something bright in the front. So you want to make sure that the brightness is always around her, not the back. So this is saving my time to add shadows. So
It's really cool. I haven't seen that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one before. Satin
Yeah,
getting
it's
a use.
very, very,
wow.
very,
Yeah.
very rare. Very rare that people use. Something that I noticed while doing photo manipulation. So I want to share that one. And again, changing overlay to create more of the darkness. Again, you can always create another layer on top of that girl and apply soft light. You want to darken the shadows, you can. I like to do this. I like to soft light and create the shadows. Oh, there's a very nice music. Are you playing some music? Or is it coming?
The music kicks in and out.
It's just so nice to hear.
It's just background music, but every now and then it kicks in like a particular song will for some reason be like a little bit loud. So hope it hasn't been distracting, guys.
No, it's just add up to the whole thing. So it's perfect. So I am going to just darken the carpet. And what I'm going to do is masking the color of it by erasing the light. I'm gonna add in more light. More light.
So you're giving it a bit of depth of the edge.
So that because she's sitting in the darkness and the light comes from the front, her parents don't know what's going on, so she's just enjoying the view. And again, I'm gonna use color lookup to give it some magic.
Color lookup right at the end always blows me away.
Yeah, color lookup. It's everything. Oh, this is so cool. Again, even though you already apply color lookup, you're wondering, oh, it's so dark, it doesn't work. But kind of like it. Always do this. Apply it this way, whichever that works. Like for example, you can always blend it. So see whichever that you like, and then it might work. It's kind of there. And then because it's a window, maybe you can have that white spots. Just a bit so that it looks like a window. I'll just erase that a bit. Away. There you go, getting there. Again, end of the day, like always say, have fun in whatever that you do. I think that's my goal. not to rush it, you know, even though it saves time, I am enjoying the whole journey. Like, oh, I get to do more stuff. Yeah. Again, it's not only design, music, whatever you do, just enjoy it.
Yeah, it's super important.
So we're gonna let this. Let's try out other things. Angie Amber.
So you can do multiple color lookups on one
Yeah,
image?
you can.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like for example, this, right? So this has the orange hue. I am going to apply one more color lookup right on top of it, and I'm gonna probably change it to drop the blue. You can actually see it if you go in. The contrasty is there. Like for example, it's removing all the blue tone in the background, and I can even, so if you want to show a drastic ones, I can go to the night moonlight just now. I can mask it. Like for example, let's change this to black and white, and we will be done. Like for example, like this. There's two color here.
Cool.
Yeah. So there's like a light source.
So you got that coming in as a gradient. So you got the color lookout coming through.
Yeah. So what I'm using is I'm using gradient. Like for example, at the side here, I'm using gradient tool to have that color blend together with the color lookout at the background. So for this, I am going to use brush instead, so that it glows from the middle. Oh. Okay. Ta-da! We're done.
That's awesome.
That's 3 minutes before we end.
Well done. That's amazing. It's been really, really interesting, really fun to see. It's amazing. Like you've always been such a fast worker when we've done other things, like get through things really fast. It's quite interesting to see how Firefly can play a part in that. I love this. Also, like the woods almost help you make the frame there as well. So just these like happy, like I'm not saying it's an accident, but like happy little things that you can discover on the way that you may not have planned for, but then it just kind of presents yourself by going through different prompts, by checking different things out. But yeah, it's been great. It's been fun hanging out with you, Ramesh.
Thank you. Yeah, I just want to say that again, just have fun. Like there's no right or wrong. Just you will be amazed what you're gonna find out. And I think the best part here, right? You know what they'll say there's like a butterfly in your stomach and whatever not, is when this happens.
Yeah, right.
Boxes, and I was like, oh, let me show me what I want, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's very magical. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's like 7 seconds of just excitement. Come on, what's gonna happen? What am I gonna get?
Yeah, that's the beauty of this. I would say.
Yeah. Well, that's fantastic. We are out of time today. Hope you guys enjoyed our time playing around with Firefly, and then also seeing Ramesh's Photoshop skills as well, how he might be using it in his creative process. Hope you guys, everyone that hasn't got in, gets in soon. We're working through lots and lots of people to get it access to as many people as possible. And I can't wait to see what you all create. Ramesh, as always, thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Thank you so much, everybody. Hope you guys enjoyed the session. Hope you learned something new out of this.
Excellent. All right. We'll see you next time on Adobe Live. Bye.